Series and the homestand. And the first pitch of the game is low and inside, ball one. Well, Roger Craig has referred to Rick Reuschel as a horse. He is a very good pitcher. Here's the next pitch, and that is low for ball two. And since coming over from the Pittsburgh Pirates, Reuschel has a record of 2-1. His last outing, he beat the Expos 14-4. 2-0 pitch on the way, and that is over for a strike, 2-1. Juan Samuel, the leadoff batter for the Phillies. He'll be followed by Milt Thompson and then Keith Hughes. 2-1 pitch on the way, and that is swung on, hit off the hands into right center field. Over is Milner, and he is there to make the catch. Milner tracking it down into right center field. That is out number one. And we'll bring up the center fielder, Milt Thompson. Just a little bit more for you on Rick Reuschel. He has 10 wins this year, but that's only part of the story. He has an ERA of 2.92. That is fourth best in the National League. He has worked in 191 and a third innings this year. Here's the first pitch, and that has popped up foul down the left field side. The 191 and a third innings, eighth best in the National League. 9 complete games this year. That is only second to Fernando Valenzuela, who has 10. Reuschel again with a windup. Here's the 0-1 pitch in the way, and it's high for a ball, 1-1. He, along with several of the teammates on the San Francisco pitching staff, that has 3 shutouts this year. Next pitch outside, 2 balls and a strike. In fact, as we look down the list, it is Kelly Downs, Dave Dravecki, and Rick Reuschel, as the next pitch is low for ball 3. All with 3 shutouts to go along with Mike Scott, Zane Smith, Bobby Welch, and Floyd Yeomans. 3-1 pitch on the way, swung on a big high chopper toward Uribe. He has to hurry. The throw is just in time. 6-3 and a put out. 2 men are gone. And that'll bring up the left fielder, Keith Hughes.
Hitting third.
So on the mound
19, left fielder
is Rick Reuschel. He is 6'3" and weighs 240 pounds. And anyone was here that saw him run the bases the other day, looked like a runaway beer truck, but he can run for a big man. He scored all the way from first on a hit and run, and can play defense as well as any pitcher in the National League. He has won a Gold Glove. And surprisingly enough, although he does not look like what you'd refer to as the athlete out there, there's the first pitch is over for a strike. Don't let that fool you. The big man can move.
How did you describe that?
Well, he does not have a body like Chili Davis or some of the other players. There's the next pitch that's low and outside. Or he's not built like Dave Henderson or something like that. Or Mike Schmidt or whatever.
A runaway?
Runaway beer truck. You got that right. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on. Here's a 1-1 truck. That's right. And it's lifted into left center field. And again, Milner will go over there and haul it in. And so for Reuschel, he has a very easy inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. And so we go to the Giants half of the first inning. Phillies nothing, and the Giants coming up. Back with a fastball on the outside corner. And the count is now 2-1. 26 years of age. He is 6'1" and weighs 170 pounds. Makes his home in Highland, California. Here's the 2-1 pitch. And that misses inside, 3-1. He is a very hyper young man. This could work actually against him. He is a very emotional young man out there. He's very talented, has a very good arm. 3-1 pitch is low and gets by the catcher. Dalton goes all the way to the backstop. Milner racing down to first base. He'll hold there. So a leadoff base on balls issued here to the Giants, and their leadoff man is aboard.
batting second. Number 9, third.
That brings up third baseman Kevin Mitchell. For Fred Tolliver, he is 1-0. His last outing, he beat the San Diego Padres 10-2. He went 6 innings, 7 hits, gave up a couple of runs, and he struck out 6 in that game. That was his first major league win. He has a career mark of 1-6. And so we'll have to keep our eye on him here today. First pitch to Mitchell is outside, ball 1. And in just the first, batter or so, and watching this young man throw, I think the game plan, as far as Roger Craig is concerned, is let him pitch a little bit. He may pitch himself into a little bit of trouble. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and that just catches the outside corner and evens up the count at 1-1. Kevin Mitchell, 1 for 4 yesterday, including an RBI. He has hit safely in 6 of the last 7 games. No score. We're in the bottom half of the first inning. Milner with the lead at first base. Tolliver comes set. Runner does not go. Pitch out. Nothing doing. Runner's not going that time. The count is now 2-1. For Tolliver, he throws a fastball. In fact, he may have the best fastball of everybody on the staff, which means he probably throws it about 94, 95 miles an hour. Right now, he's right around 93. There goes the runner. The 2-1 pitch is swung on, foul tipped off of the catcher. And now Milner will have to go back to first base. For Tolliver, he was originally selected by the Yankees back in 1979 and was traded to Cincinnati along with Brian Ryder for Ken Griffey. That was in 1981. And then was traded to Philadelphia as the player to be named later in that trade that involved Bo Diaz. And so he has spent some time in the major leagues. He has gone up and down a couple, 2 or 3 times. There's a quick toss to first base and Milner having to dive back in. Milner has 5 stolen bases. He was thrown out his first 4 times that he attempted to steal this year, but lately he has been very successful. Tolliver again with that quick throw to first base, and boy, they almost got him that time. Tolliver, a very good athlete. He has very quick feet. That's one of the signs that you look for in watching an athlete, how quick they can move their feet. That tells you quite a bit about their agility. And just to back that up just a little bit, in high school, not only did he play baseball, but basketball and football as well. We have athletes, that young man out there that can do a lot of different things. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kevin Mitchell. Runner going. The pitch is swung on. Base hit into right field. Milner taps second. He's going to head to third. And holding at first base is Kevin Mitchell. The hit and run was perfect. And so the Giants have runners at first and third and nobody out. And Mike Aldrete coming to the plate. Well, we just like to pass a hello to a great Giant fan who is listening to today's ball game, Ed Podesta, who we understand is 90 years young, and he's a little bit under the weather right now. But, Ed, we certainly hope that you'll get well soon and continue to listen for a long, long time to many more Giant games. And hope today is a very pleasant day for you. Here is Mike Aldrete standing in. Aldrete did not play yesterday. He is 1 for 4 in his series. Tolliver set, checks the runners, and the first pitch is inside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. The fans in attendance today starting to get into the act here just a little bit. 1 ball and no strikes. Infield, outfield, playing Aldrete straight away. On deck is Will Clark. Tolliver again ready. And the 1-0 pitch is high, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes to Aldrete. Now time is called. Hayes coming in to try to settle Tolliver down just a little bit. We had mentioned to you that he's a very hyper young man. He's a very emotional young man. And I would imagine that Roger Craig is going to try to use that a little bit this afternoon. And by doing so, he might be sending some runners. He will try to put the hit and run on. He's already done that once very successfully here in the first inning. 2-0 pitch, and Aldrete lays off the pitch, 3-0. 3 balls and no strikes. And Aldrete showing a great deal of patience up there at the plate. Make that young man pitch, and maybe because of his emotions, he may get himself a little bit more hot water. 3 balls and no strikes, no score, bottom of the first inning. Mitchell with the lead at first base. Milner coming down the line at third. And the 3-0 pitch is over for a strike, and the count is 3-1. Home plate umpire Jim Quick ringing up the right hand. By the way, it is Jim Quick's birthday today, and so happy birthday to the umpire. Now we've said happy birthday to him, now we can boo him, right? Supposed to boo the umpire? No, you're not supposed to do that. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Runner going at first base, and Aldrete pops it up foul off to our left, and it's a full count, 3-2. Umpires walk out and everybody goes, boo. They do a good job. A lot better job than what people realize that they do. A full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And I would imagine if Mitchell is going to be going 3-1, he'll be going 3-2. Let's see. Tolliver again ready. Runner goes. The pitch is swung on, and again it's fouled away almost in the same spot. And so Kevin will have to go back. One of the reasons that Roger is going to be sending Kevin Mitchell, and that is to try to stay out of the double play possibility, because you have Jelson Samuel near the bag at second base. They're looking to turn the double play. And by sending the runner, chances are you might not be able to do it. Runner going again. The pitch is swung on, and this one caught the catcher. Foul tipped right into the catcher, Dalton. And once again, Kevin has to go back to first base. Defensively, Hayes at first base, Samuel at second, Jeltz at shortstop, Schmidt at third, Hughes in left field, Thompson in center, Wilson in right field, and Dalton, Darren Dalton behind the plate. Lance Parrish given the afternoon off. No score. Giants after the first inning. Tolliver again ready. Runner going. The pitch is swung on and fouled straight back. And Aldrete now has fouled 4 in a row off. And Kevin Mitchell looking at Aldrete saying, come on, you're a better hitter than that. Put that ball in play somewhere. You're wearing me out. Full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Against the Phillies this year, Aldrete has 8 hits and 23 at-bats. He has driven in a couple of runs. And he has hit safely in 12 of the last 14 games, including 7 runs driven in. Left-handed batter out of Stanford waiting. Runner going, 3-2 pitch, swung on, right base hit, left field. Milner will score, holding at second base is Mitchell. Giants lead it 1-0. And that's your Giants replay. Listen to Frank and Mike tomorrow morning, 6 to 10, on Giants Radio, KNBR 68. You could win $50 cash in the Giants replay game, sponsored by Caltrain, the Peninsula's highway between San Francisco and San Jose. So the Giants on the board first. Time is called, and the pitching coach, Claude Osteen, going out to try to settle down the right-hander.
It's pretty amazing to imagine that Mike Aldrete, who continues to hit with men in scoring position, is nearing the 400 mark in 1987 with men in scoring position. What a great number 3 hitter he is.
Boy, he has turned out to be a real diamond in the rough, because he almost did not make the club in spring training. Here is Will Clark. Giants have runners at first and second, nobody out, 1-0 in favor of the Giants here in the bottom of the first inning. Osteen back in the dugout. Tolliver looking to second, comes to the plate. Fastball inside, ball 1. One of the things that has put Tolliver in the hole has been the fact that he has fallen behind the hitters so far. He fell behind Milner, Mitchell, and Aldrete. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Breaking ball that is high, 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes. Mitchell at second base. Aldrete at first base. Aldrete, by the way, now 40 runs driven in. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Clark. Big swing and a miss for a strike, 2-1. For Tolliver, in his career, we mentioned to you, he is 0-2 against San Francisco. Those marks registered right here at Candlestick Park. He has an 0-2 record here. He has appeared in just 5 games. The right-hander comes set again. And the 2-1 delivery. Swung on and missed for strike 2. Threw a fastball by Clark that time. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Clark, 10th in the National League in batting with .304 average. He is tied for 7th along with Mike Schmidt with 28 home runs. And he leads the Giants in RBIs with 73. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and popped up foul off to our left. That'll go in the upper deck. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Clark. In the opening game of this series, Clark hit a home run in the bottom of the 10th inning to win it. That is the 3rd time this year that Clark has hit a home run either in the 9th inning or in extra innings to win games for the Giants. 2-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Foul tipped and held on to, and down goes Will Clark. He chased a pitch that might not have been in the strike zone. And that is the first strikeout recorded for Tolliver and brings up Chili Davis.
Number 30, right fielder, Chili Davis.
Here's Chili. Chili, third on the team in RBIs. He has driven in 64 runs this year. And on deck is the catcher, Bob Brenly. 1-0 San Francisco. Chili waiting, and the first pitch to him is inside, ball one. So Tolliver has started everyone out behind in the count so far here this afternoon. In the bottom of the 7th inning, Chicago is leading Cincinnati 2-1, and Pittsburgh 3-2 over Houston in the bottom of the 6th. The 1-0 pitch is high, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. For the Giants to be facing this young man here, Fred Tolliver, at this particular time of year, this is one of the things that always scared me about young players and having never hit off of them before. And this time, as Tolliver comes set, he steps off the rubber, not quite ready. Reason being, you have a young man out there like Tolliver today, who has a very good arm. We said he has a very good fastball. He's been throwing it 93 miles an hour, but is capable of throwing it a mile or two faster than that. Here's the 2-0 pitch on the way, and Chili hits one hard down the left field line. That's going to get down. Around third is Mitchell. He digs for home. Going into third is Aldrete, and Chili slides into second with a double. 2-0 San Francisco. Chili picking up his 65th RBI of the year. And the Giants have tallied a couple of times here in the inning. And Brenly coming to the plate. But what scares me about young pitchers like this is that they have a pretty good idea as to how to pitch to you. And you have not had a chance to hit off of them to kind of put them in a category. And late in the season, when you're playing and fighting for a championship, like the Giants are, I didn't want anything new to be presented. I want to hit off of something that I knew about. And so this is why a game like this concerns me about that of the Giants. But so far, they've handled this young man quite well.
And they've hit his best pitch, that fastball.
And it looks like we may start to have a little bit of action down in the bullpen. Bob Brenly coming to the plate, infield, at first and third, drawn in. And the first pitch, breaking ball high, ball one. And so on every batter so far, he has started everyone off with a 1-0 count. 2-0 San Francisco. Tolliver from the stretch. And the next pitch, that's over for a strike, 1-1. Even though runners are at second and third, the young man being very excited, pitching from the stretch.
You prefaced the inning with that information, and that is really bearing fruit right now. You can see it.
Here's the 1-1 pitch and away, and it has popped up on the infield at third base. Schmidt or Jeltz, who's going to take it? It looks like it will be Jeltz, the shortstop, making the play, and Brenly pops up for out number 2. And that brings up Robbie Thompson.
Batting 7, number 6, second baseman.
They have a right-hander, Tom Newell, loosening up for the Phillies in the bullpen. Robbie coming to the plate. He is the 7th batter to come to the plate here in the inning. Giants have runners at second and third. And Robbie's batting .272, 10 home runs. That's a new career high for him. He's driven in 40. And the first pitch is right around the knees for strike 1. Robbie working on a 6-game hitting streak. He's hit safely in 13 of the last 14 games as well. Tolliver set, and the 0-1 pitch. Thompson lays off it, takes it inside and low, 1-1. The Giants have won 9 of the last 12 games. They have a 4.5 game lead over the Houston Astros. Again, Tolliver ready. 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball high, 2-1. Also, we have noticed in the breaking balls that Tolliver has thrown, he has not gotten one over. He has yet to throw a breaking ball for a strike. So if you're a hitter, why look for the curveball? He can't get it over anyway. 2-1 pitch underway. Fastball high and outside. 3-1. On deck is Jose Uribe. So if Robbie Thompson is given the green light here, he can kind of narrow that strike zone down and put it into an area that is his strong point. 3-1 pitch to Robbie. And he takes on the outside corner for a strike. And it is a full count, 3-2. And that's the first time that the young man on the mound, Fred Tolliver, got his breaking ball over. And he got it over on the outside corner. Made a good pitch. Thompson waiting. And the 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball, pulls to third. Schmidt has it. And he goes on to first base in time. And that'll do it for the Giants in their half of the inning. 2 runs on 3 hits. They leave 2. And so we go to the top of the second inning. Giants leading the Phillies 2-0. For the Giants in their half of the second inning, Jose Uribe will be leading things off, followed by Reuschel and then Eddie Milner. We are running down those scores for you. And we got down to that San Diego-St. Louis game. After 6.5 innings of play, the Cardinals are leading the Padres by a score of 4-2. Clark has hit his 35th home run of the year for the St. Louis Cardinals. And just an added note for you, the home run by Jack in the 5th inning was his 17th of the year at Busch Stadium, tying the record held by Ted Simmons and Richie Allen. Simmons did it in '79 and Allen in 1970. Here's Jose Uribe. 2-0 San Francisco. We're in the bottom of the second inning. And the first pitch is over for a call strike. That time, Fred Tolliver got his breaking ball over. In fact, he's gotten his last 3 curveballs over in the strike zone. Jose, 2 for 3 yesterday, including a 2-run homer. Next pitch, fastball high and outside. 1 ball to 1 strike. One other game in the National League, New York did not score in the top half of the first inning down in Los Angeles. Cone going against Welsh there. The Dodgers have lost 9 in a row. Next pitch, outside, and it's 2-1. New York just 2.5 games back. They have won 6 straight. In the American League, California Angels defeated the Yankees 3-1. Candelaria over John. 2-1 pitch, swung on, foul right back here. Look out, Wayne. I tell you what, if you brought your glove, you could have made that play.
Can't afford these high prices in 1987.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Jose. Cleveland lost to or beat the Red Sox 3-1. Cleveland 3-1 over Boston. There's a ground ball to shortstop and 2 hops. Jeltz on to Hayes, and Jose is out 6-3. 1 man is gone. That brings up the pitcher, Rick Reuschel. By the way, Cleveland, the first team in baseball to be eliminated. And some of the experts were picking them to win the Eastern Division.
I was one of them.
Seattle at Toronto. Blue Jays win it 3-2 over the Seattle Mariners. Here's Reuschel. And he bounces one to first base and is gloved by Hayes. And Hayes will take it himself at first base. 2 men out. And Eddie Milner coming to the plate now. Toronto has now, with that 3-2 victory over Seattle, Toronto has now won 5 straight. They are involved in a rain delay, Oakland at Baltimore. McGuire has hit his 42nd of the year in the second with nobody on, but they do have that rain delay. And we'll have to wait and see about the outcome there. Minnesota hosting the Milwaukee Brewers. And they're trailing in that game. First pitch to Milner is low, ball 1. Milwaukee came up with 4 runs in the top of the 8th inning. Braggs, Deere, and Schrader have hit home runs for the Brewers, and they lead at 6-0. 1-0 pitch is on the way, and that's over for a strike. Minnesota Twins have won 4 straight. They lead by 3. And boy, are they tough to beat at home. Best home record in all of baseball. 47-21. Next pitch is just outside. 2-1. Chicago at Kansas City through 5 innings of play. It's tied at 3. No home runs there. Long going against Saberhagen. 2-1 pitch underway, and that's fouled back here toward us. 2-2. And just one other game. Detroit will be at Texas. Robinson going against Guzman. Detroit has won 4 of the last 5, and their lead is just 1/2 over.
Leading off the ball, of course, for the Giants.
Well, Ron, we have seen quite a few airplanes fly by with messages behind. Dave still loves Sarah. Makes me wonder what Dave did. That's the sign going over Candlestick Park right now. Here's Chili Davis. He leads it off against the right-hander Fred Tolliver and takes ball 1. Chili double in a run in the first inning. Sounds like Dave got himself in a little bit of trouble. 2-1, Giants leading. And here's the pitch, and it's low for a ball, and it's 2-0. Brindley to follow, and then Robbie Thompson. The Giants scored twice in the first, but also had runners at second and third with 1 out, and could not push the other 2 runs across. Here's a swing, a line drive, snared by the leaping Mike Schmidt at third. Well, the 10-time Gold Glove winner over there at third base, robbing Chili Davis of extra bases. And that is 9 in a row, retired by Tolliver. And here's Brindley, who popped a short. The Giants, against the ball club, the Phillies, you figure they're due to break out. In the last 5 ball games, they have scored just 8 runs against the Giants. And they have pushed across a run now. That is 2-1. Here's the first pitch to Brindley. He looked as if he was thinking bunt down the third base line with Schmidt playing deep, and he let it go by for ball 1. Bob Brindley and Mike Schmidt have a little bit in common. Here's a ground ball hit out to second base. Sam Worrell will retire Brindley. That ball hit pretty hard off the bat of Brindley. We'll pause for station identification. This is the San Francisco Giants Radio Network.
KNBR San Francisco Giants 68. Hi, this is Jack Diamond. We make the most of your ride home each and every afternoon between 3 and 7 with a good time, a good deal of music, and all the information you need. Join us, Jack Diamond and Friends, weekday afternoon, 3 to 7 on KNBR.
Wayne Hagin with Ron Fairly this afternoon from Candlestick as the Giants conclude this homestand. And here's the first pitch to Robbie Thompson. Low, ball 1. Robbie grounded out to third his first time. We were talking about Brindley and Mike Schmidt. They share the school records for home runs, doubles, and hits at Ohio University. Here's a high fly ball hit to center field.
For the Giants, we go to their half of the 5th inning. It'll be Uribe, followed by Reuschel, and then Milner. Just a reminder, this game is brought to you by Budweiser. Pour yourself that clean, crisp taste that only comes from the king of beers. Here is Jose. He bounced out to short. He's only time up. Fred Tolliver builds to the windup, and the first pitch to Jose is high and outside for a ball. We're talking about how to beat the Philadelphia Phillies. We're talking about Schmidt coming in this series. He's batting only 136 with 2 RBIs, counting today. Von Hayes batting just 152. Uribe swings and loops one over shortstop, a base hit. That snapped a retiring 11 straight by Fred Tolliver. Last guy to get a base hit was Chili Davis, a double in the first inning to drive in a run. And here in the 5th inning, Jose Uribe leads things off with a single over shortstop. That brings up Reuschel. Juan Samuel batting just 200 against the Giants this year. He has hit a couple of home runs and driven in 3. But for guys that account for 44% of the run production for the Philadelphia Phillies, Schmidt, Hayes, and Samuel, they have just 7 RBIs among them. And that is one reason why the Giants are 9-2, and they have won the last 6 straight over the Phillies. Here is Reuschel. Tolliver comes set. And Reuschel around the bunt, and he takes one low and outside, ball 1. 2-1 Giants, bottom of the 5th inning. In the 9th inning, Pittsburgh is leading Houston 4-3. Tolliver again ready. And Reuschel swinging away, bounces one to second. It is caught by the second baseman, Samuel. He tags Uribe and flips to first base in time. Whoa, a good play by Juan Samuel. And there was nothing that Jose Uribe could do about it. And 2 men are out as Reuschel hits into the double play. That is 4-3 on the double play. So 2 men are retired here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. And now coming to the plate is Eddie Milner. He walked and scored in the 1st inning. And he has flied out to left field. Eddie working on a 6-game hitting streak. He has done quite well here recently. In fact, in the last 56 at-bats, he's been batting right around 355, 360. And the first pitch to him is over for a strike. Count of 0-1. Pretty good crowd here this afternoon. Here's the 0-1 pitch and away. Breaking ball, swung on and fouled straight back. And it goes to 0-2 to Eddie Milner. Well, not only has Eddie been banging out and hitting at about a 355 or a 360 pace, but 9 of his last 20 hits have been for extra bases. So he's, in addition to getting a few hits, there's one that goes high and inside, 1 and 2. He's been getting the good part of the bat on the ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the next pitch is swung on and popped up foul off to our left. That'll go into the second level. 1 and 2. Giants with 2 runs in the bottom of the 1st inning. That was the inning. Then Fred Tolliver, very, very emotional young man, very hyper out there on the mound. Had a little bit of a command problem, and the Giants took advantage of that. Next pitch is high for a ball. The Phillies came back with a run in the top half of the 4th inning when Mike Schmidt doubled in Juan Samuel, and that has been the scoring. 2-1 Giants. Next pitch, ground ball to third. Schmidt on the easy hop, has it.
Well, we approach with tomorrow's game at the Houston Astrodome, the final 4 weeks of the season for the San Francisco Giants. The Giants leading by 4.5 games in the National League West over Houston. And at the start of play today, 5 games over third place Cincinnati. Here today, it is a 2-1 Giants lead as we enter the bottom half of inning number 6, and Kevin Mitchell greets Fred Tolliver by taking the pitch for a strike, 0-1. Mitchell singled in his first at-bat, scored a run, and grounded out his last time to third. The 0-1 pitch is fouled straight back, and it's 0-2. Mitchell, since coming back from that wrist injury, he already had sustained the thumb injury, and he still has that wrap around the wrist and the thumb. But the wrist really giving him a lot of pain. Tendonitis in that wrist. 11 for 30. He swings and has another base hit. This one to left. And Mitchell is 2 for 3. And Roger Craig saying prior to the ball game, maybe he should have bumps and bruises all over the place because Kevin Mitchell plays better, it appears, when he's hurt. And then you go ask Kevin Mitchell why, and he'll tell you, I'm more relaxed. I concentrate more. I don't know if we can really put our finger on it. But we know this, Kevin Mitchell has done an outstanding job for the Giants and is hitting over 280 for the season. And here's Mike Aldrete. Another major plus for the Giants' offensive attack in 1987. He's 1 for 2. He singled in a run in the first inning, struck out in the third. And a snap throw to first, Mitchell back in. You have a 2-1 Giants lead here in the 6th inning. Nobody out. The leadoff hitter aboard at first now, and Kevin Mitchell. He has above-average speed. But more importantly, if Roger Craig is to do hit and run justice to the ball club here in the inning, he's got a pretty good guy up there at the plate. There goes the runner. Swing and a miss, and it's dropped by the catcher, Dalton. Safe at second base with a stolen base is Mitchell. All the elements were there. And Mitchell has swiped second base to get in scoring position. And for Mitchell, that is just his 4th stolen base of the year. And Aldrete swung at a pitch that was in the dirt, trying to protect him. 1 strike count. Aldrete came in the game hitting .391 with runners in scoring position. And he got a base hit in his only situation like that today. He swings and misses on that breaking ball. It was high, and the count 0-2. So Aldrete, who struck out in the 3rd inning, certainly has that in his mind. Jeff Calhoun, a left-hander, warming up for the Philadelphia Phillies. Giants trying to pick up a run. Aldrete trying to get the runner to third. Here's the pitch, and he swings and hits it to the right side. Fielded by Samuel. He will throw out Aldrete. And on an 0-2 pitch, Aldrete does his job again. That won't show up in the box score, but it will register in the mind of Roger Craig and his teammates over there who come off the bench to congratulate Aldrete as he moves Mitchell to third, where a fly ball, a base hit, or a mistake on the part of the Phillies will score it.
Wayne, this is not any part of the season when you're fighting for a championship like the Giants are. No one is really concerned whether you go 0 for 3 or 0 for 4, so long as you make the right kind of outs. And that's what you like to see. Aldrete giving himself up, pulling the ball the right side of the diamond, and you had almost the entire ball club going up there saying, nice going, nice at bat.
Well, 2 parts of the scenario complete now. Mitchell gets aboard, steals second base on the hit and run. Aldrete does his job with the infield drawn in. Now it's up to Clark, and he takes low, ball 1. Clark is 0 for 2. He has struck out and popped out against Fred Tolliver.
We've said time and time again now, if you're a left-hand hitter, you have to stay away from the first baseman. You got to think up the middle the other way. It's easier to get a fly ball.
Clark waiting. Tolliver comes set. Looks over at third. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on a high fastball, and it's 1-1.
And the other thing is you have to get a good pitch.
Did you underline that one?
Yep.
And Clark knows it. He knows that that was not the pitch that he could handle. When Tolliver wants to throw a good fastball, he has done so today. Tolliver, being taunted by Kevin Mitchell, bluffing down the line at third, stepped off the rubber. A 1-ball, 1-strike count to Clark. 2-1 Giants, 6th inning. 1 out, Mitchell aboard at third. Outfield playing straight away. Infield playing shallow, in on the grass. And the pitch is inside. And it's 2-1. Chili Davis out on deck. Tolliver bent over at the race and reads the signs. Here's the pitch that squeezes on. It's bunted in front of the plate. It is in combo. And Tolliver couldn't make the play to the plate. And coming in the score was Mitchell. As Will Clark puts down the suicide squeeze. And the Giants lead it 3-1. Tolliver came down off the mound in a hurry. He had a chance to field the ball.
Fielder choice.
And to try and sit there and throw it with the glove. Try to flip it to the catcher, Dalton. But he just couldn't get the handle. And although Clark bunted it right back to the mound and hard, Mitchell was able to score. And it will be a fielder's choice. And coming in to score was Mitchell. And here's Chili Davis, runner on the move, and it swung on and fouled straight back. Yeah, the hit and run didn't work that time because Davis had a pitch that he felt he could handle on the hit and run, but he fouled it back. So the RBI for Clark is 74th of the year. And that was a scary situation in regard to the squeeze because of the fact that I didn't think Mitchell got the quickest break of a runner at third, and the fact that the ball went right back to the mound. But Tolliver just couldn't do it. He couldn't execute the play to get it. Here's the pitch, and it's high. That time, Clark wasn't going. 1-1 the count to Chili Davis. He has doubled in a run, and he is lined out. Leaping Mike Schmidt, able to grab it. We mentioned that Jeff Calhoun, the left-hander, was warming up. Well, he has a buddy next to him, Mike Maddox, a right-hander. 1-1 pitch is a pitch shot. Clark wasn't going. 2-1 the count to Chili. That is the second time this season that Clark has had a suicide squeeze bunt, and he's done it successfully. He has his lead at first and the throw over there. He scampers back to the bag, feet first. The outfield for Chili Davis exactly straight away. Three to 1 Giants. And the 2-1 pitch is high, ball 3. Bob Brenly, the on-deck hitter. Giants scored twice in the first, but left runners in scoring position at second and third after they had just one out. They failed to score those two, but they come back with a run here in the sixth. Tolliver ready. Runner goes, and it's fouled away. Next time, Clark did not have a good jump, and actually, after he had started out, came to a screeching halt. And he kind of snaps his fingers as if to say, that wasn't a good job. So now he has his hands on his waist. He is looking over to Don Zimmer. Now off to his lead again. He goes. Here's the pitch. Swing a ground ball. Base hit right field. Clark around second. He will go to third and hold there as Chili Davis is now 2 for 3. And perfectly executed.
And Wayne, you can see the advantage right there of being a left-handed hitter and pulling one in the hole between first and second with the first baseman holding the runner on at first base, because that was not necessarily a real sharply hit ground ball, but it just found the hole.
And here comes manager Lee Elia to make the second out. That was a 1-2-3 inning for Tolliver. But if you go back to the first inning, Brenly popped out with runners at second and third and just one out. He would like to atone for that and bat right here. Tolliver to the plate. High breaking ball. Ball one.
Wayne, very quickly, Pittsburgh beat Houston 4-3.
Pirates have been incredible spoilers. They love that role. They're not going to win the East, but they're certainly going to make somebody. Here's the bunt, and it popped in the air. Coming back is Dalton. He won't have a chance as the Giants had to squeeze on again. Clark was coming, and that first, Chili was on the move. And Brenly popped that one up, and as soon as it left the bat, you had the feeling that there might be a play. But no. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Wayne, just one more added note for you. The save went to Jim Gott, his 7th of the year.
Attaway, Jimmy. So both Houston and Cincinnati have lost today. Giants could go to Houston with a 5.5 game lead. That time, Tolliver, as he was stretching and looking over to Will Clark, stepped off the rubber. He is just staring down Will Clark at third. Chili with his lead at first base. Well, Roger Craig going right back with the suicide squeeze bunt in the same inning. Runner on the move at first. There's a line drive to the left field line. That is a base hit. Coming in to score is Clark. Davis to third. Brenly is going to try for 2, and he'll have a double. Giants lead it 4-0. And for Brenly, his 45th RBI of the year. And more importantly, because he gets a double, the Giants have just one out and runners at second and third, and that will do it for Tolliver as Robbie Thompson is due up. So for Tolliver, he'll go 5 1/3 innings, allowing 4 runs on a total of 7 hits, a couple of strikeouts and 1 walk. Brenly and Chili Davis still his responsibility on the bases. And with Robbie Thompson due up, it'll be the left-hander, Jeff Calhoun, to come in. Even though Robbie Thompson is a right-handed batter, you have Uribe, the switch hitter, due up after Thompson, and then Rick Reuschel. So right now, Elia going to the man he felt was. Here's Robbie Thompson, who has a left-handed pitcher out of the mound, which means Chili Davis can get a good-sized lead, and Robbie Thompson is going to be intentionally walked to load the bases up for Uribe. So this is the second time this afternoon that a Giants hitter has been passed, this time intentionally. Here's ball 3 coming up. And that sets the stage for Uribe to come up. Jose is 1 for 2 today. Yesterday, he had 2 hits, including his 3rd home run of the year. And that came as a right-handed batter. And that's exactly the side of the plate from which he will swing this time. And it's kind of ironic with Jose Uribe He has hit 9 lifetime home runs. 8 have come against the National League East.
Jose Uribe.
Would Roger use another squeeze play?
Well, that was my thought, because the left-hander now won't work out of the stretch, even though the bases are low. Well, yes, he will. And that means Chile can get a pretty good-sized lead, because he is to the back of the left-hander Calhoun. And that lead, very important. We almost saw Mitchell not get a good enough lead. Here's the pitch. The squeeze is not on, and the breaking ball is a strike. A good curve, a slow curve at that. 0-1 to Uribe. Oh, I wouldn't say it's out of the realm of possibility at all with Jose Uribe up there. He handles the bat well. Chile off to a good-sized lead at third, as Mike Schmidt is playing a couple of steps back behind the bag at third. Von Hayes, the first baseman, playing on the fringe of the grass at first. Here's the pitch, and it's swung on and popped up. Foul ground. Coming back is Dalton. Long run. He can't get there. He slides up to the photographer's well on the near side of the Giants dugout, but came up short. 0-2 the count. We have seen Roger go to the squeeze with 2 strikes before. Boy, it really wouldn't be that surprising to see Calhoun pitch out, if that's what Lee Ely is thinking. 0-2 the count, and here's the pitch, and it's about as close to a pitch out as you're going to get. Way outside of the strike zone. Dalton looks over into the Philly dugout. Chile was not coming on that last pitch. My goodness, is he off to a huge lead at third. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit in the air to shallow center. Coming on is a center fielder, Thompson, and he is in so shallow that none of the runners will be able to advance as the throw comes in. So Uribe can't advance the cause for the Giants. And that'll bring Rick Reuschel to the plate. Well, Reuschel has done some good things with the bat in his career. He's hit a home run this season. He's driven in 7. He is 0 for 2. He has hit the ball. He has not struck out. He grounded to first and grounded into a double play his last time. So here's Reuschel, who is not an automatic out at the plate. He chokes up, batting glove on each hand. And the pitch is a ground ball pulled to third. Schmidt up with it. He will race to the bag and beat of Mike Schmidt. For the Giants, 2 runs on a total of 3 hits in the second inning.
For the Giants, we go to their half of the 8th inning. Robbie Thompson will be the leadoff batter. And the first pitch is high for ball 1. On the mound now pitching for the Phillies is Steve Bedrosian. He is having quite a year for himself. Here's the 1-0 pitch and away. And it's a fastball high. And it's 2-0. Bedrosian, 4-2 and 35 saves. Boy, one of the things you can look at sometimes when you take a look at a relief pitcher is not so much his win-loss record. There's the next pitch, and that's over for a strike, and it's now 2-1. Because if they're doing their job and doing it the way that they would like to do it, they would probably have quite a few saves. Well, look at Bedrosian, 35 saves. This is the 55th game that he has been in. The next pitch to Robbie is popped up off the hands off to the first base side of things, and the count is even up to 2-2. And Bedrosian, one of those fellows that might be considered, and I'm sure he will be, for the Cy Young Award winner this year. 2-2 pitch in the way, and Thompson takes a call, strike 3 in the outside corner. Down goes Robbie. Out number 1. Strikeout number 1 recorded by Bedrosian. And that brings up Jose Uribe. Also gives us time to remind you that the game is brought to you by our friends from Budweiser. For yourself that clean, crisp taste that only comes from the king of beers. Jose Uribe. He is 1 for 3 this afternoon. He singled in the 5th inning. Bedrosian building to the windup. Here's the first pitch to Jose, and he takes high for ball 1. Bedrosian leads the National League in saves with 35, and right behind him is Lee Smith, who now has 34. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And it is popped up behind shortstop. Back goes Aguayo, the shortstop. He's under it and makes the play. I believe we forgot to mention to you that going in the ball game and playing shortstop in place of Jeltz is Aguayo as he takes over there. And coming to the plate, the hand you hear in the background is for Rick Reuschel. And many of the Giant fans here at Candlestick Park starting to get on their feet, and they give him a nice applause. Nice going. And Rick takes the first pitch outside, ball 1. But Lee Smith getting back to Bedrosian in the 35 saves. Big Lee Smith picked up a save today in Chicago, so he now has 34. There's a ground ball to shortstop. Aguayo has it. And in the top of the 9th inning, the Giants are leading it 4-1. And really a great opportunity for them to move to 5.5 games in front of the Houston Astros, who lost to the Pittsburgh Pirates. And at the same time, Chicago defeated Cincinnati at Wrigley Field this afternoon. So the two teams directly behind the Giants have both lost. And so they have an opportunity here. They need just 3 outs. The noise you hear in the background, the attendance here today, 43,148. It will be the top of the order to be facing Reuschel, who has pitched a very dominating game this afternoon. It'll be Juan Samuel, Milt Thompson, and then Keith Hughes. And then right behind that is Mike Schmidt. Here's the first pitch, and Samuel thinking about trying to bunt. Fakes the bunt, gets the bat back in time. 1 ball and no strikes. Rick Reuschel has really pitched a strong game. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way, and that goes low and outside. He has given up just 2 hits and 1 run. That run came in the 4th inning when Samuel was in scoring position and Mike Schmidt doubled down the right field corner. The 2-0 pitch is over for a strike. And Reuschel has not walked a batter at all. At one time, he retired 9 straight and then 12 straight. 2-1 pitch and away. Hit off the hands and popped up foul behind home plate. 2-2. The Phillies have left just 2 men on base, and the Giants, according to our score sheet, they have stranded 8. 2-2 delivery on the way. On a check swing, and he misses. Strike 3, and down goes Samuel. That is only the 3rd strikeout this afternoon recorded by Reuschel, but he does get the leadoff man here in the top of the 9th inning. And coming to the plate now is Milt Thompson, the center fielder. He is 0 for 3. He has bounced out twice, once to short, once to third, and has flied out to center. Reuschel, and the first pitch is just outside, ball 1. Throwing in the bullpen, Lefferts and Don Robinson for the Giants. The next pitch right around the knees for a strike, and that evens up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Reuschel working fast, comes right back with a pitch, swung on, a big chopper to shortstop. Uribe on the easy hop, goes to Clark in time. 2 men are gone, and the Giants need just 1 more out, and they're going to have a 5.5 game lead in the Western Division. And coming to the plate now is Keith Hughes. Also gives us time to remind you of a taco tip from Taco Bell. The first Taco Bell in Northern California opened in 1964, and now there are over 200 locations throughout Northern California to serve you. Why don't you drop in? Here is Keith Hughes, a left-handed batter. And the first pitch is swung on, off the glove of Reuschel. Robbie Thompson behind the bat, goes to first. They got it, and the game is over. 1 for 3. Outstanding play by Robbie to end the ball game, and the Giants win it. They have a 5.5 game lead in the Western Division. We'll be back with the totals in just a moment. Winning pitcher Rick Reuschel, his record is now 11-7, and the losing pitcher Fred Tolliver, his record goes to 1-1. Game-winning RBI Mike Aldrete, his 6th of the year. Time of game 2 hours and 7 minutes in front of 43,148. Once again, the final score: the Giants win it 4-1. Our engineers were Nick Marquardt and Joe Vitrano, and our coordinator back in the studio is Pat Olson. Our next Giants broadcast will be coming your way tomorrow night, where the Giants face the Houston Astros from the Astrodome. Broadcast time for the pregame show will be coming your way at 5:10 Pacific Daylight Time. Now, I'm Ron Fairly, along with Wayne Hagin, inviting you to stay tuned for our Giants postgame show coming up in just a moment.
Gotta say, baby, when you see these Giants feel, baby, when you watch them play.
San Francisco Giants baseball has been brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood Age for that distinctively clean, crisp taste that makes Budweiser the king of beers. For all you do, this Bud's for you. By Chevron, where you'll find high-quality, high-performance Chevron unleaded gasolines with Tetraline, the additive that cleans entire intake systems. Chevron with Tetraline, yes. By the Northern California Renault Jeep dealers, the Jeep Performers, where the possibilities are endless. By the Farmers Insurance Group of companies. If you'd like a dedicated professional looking after your insurance needs, check the yellow pages for a farmer's agent. By Grossman's, your home improvement project store, where lowest prices are guaranteed. And by Taco Bell, California's favorite place for tacos, burritos, and tostadas for 25 years. Have you tried their new steak fajitas? Yum, baby.